Hey everybody, welcome back to day 5, Breakfast with Bob from Hotel West End in beautiful Nice. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by Master Spas, SFuels Go Longer, HOKA Let's Fly, deboer wetsuits, Form Swim goggles, Zoot Sports, original triathlon brand, Quintana Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest just decided that he is racing on Sunday. He signed up this morning. I'm so excited. Sebastian Kienle, 2-time Ironman 70.3 champion, 2014 Ironman World Champion. So excited to have you in the field racing. That's the best news I've had all day.
Honestly, I've been on the course today, and after I rode the course, I was like, I definitely have to do this. Like, I have to sign up. I went straight on the phone with Heather.
Yes.
And she said, hey, you can have Christian's spot. It's not a problem.
I like it.
So I said, yeah, why not?
Why not? You're here.
No, to be honest. I ended the bike ride and I wasn't 100% sure if I'm gonna wake up in time for breakfast with Bob. So
It's a late brunch, yes.
Yeah, no, I'm actually quite happy to not race. I will be on the mic actually
for
the
German
main
TV,
German TV
right?
station, and yeah, that's pretty cool. But I did indeed pre-ride the course, and I have to say I would have loved to race here. I was about to say during my active career, but yeah, a couple of years back, it would have been absolutely beautiful. I mean, you know all about the history in Nice, and in 2019 I have some good memories about the race. And
Yes.
yeah, I think bike course probably the most talked about topic, and yeah, for good reason.
For good reason. So take us through the bike course, because it's funny talking to some of the mountain bike guys. Brent McMahon, Braden Curry, Bradley Weiss. They're like, this is the greatest course ever. We love this thing.
It has some mountain biking included.
Exactly. They said this is as close to a mountain bike course as they've ever seen.
And that's not just because of the mountains on the bike course, but also because of the gravel and
Yes.
the road furniture and everything. I mean, it's definitely an obstacle course. I mean, I've pre-ridden a lot of the course since some of the parts are similar to the 2019 70.3 course. So I wasn't. I knew what to expect, but still, like every now and then, you're like. I would have definitely been DQ'd a couple of times today on my pre-ride. I crossed all the lines.
Every line there was.
There
You
was
found it.
absolutely. I wanted to have some good footage from the helmet camera for German TV. Like, oh shit, this is scary. No, but. Yeah, I mean, it's just great to have this variety, and together with the history in Nice, I mean, it's so difficult to predict, honestly. It's I think I've predicted 5 different race outcomes already.
Yes.
Within the last 3 days or so.
Yes.
So one of them should be right. So somebody will tape all of them, and I will come up as a genius who predicted the podium. Since
move.
I just always predict something different.
Yes.
No, but honestly, it's just yeah. I think after Kona, which came sort of predictable, or at least you knew the general theme, and this is completely different.
It's so different because you got
very interesting.
There were some of the different guys you were talking to. You know, Cam Worth was saying he rode this a week after winning Austria during the race, Ironman Nice, and he did it because you ride it differently when you're.
Absolutely.
He said, yeah. What I was going to say is when he got to the plateau, he said normally if you're just riding by yourself, you would recover
Relax.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And he goes, in the race, he got to the plateau and everybody was attacking.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
totally different.
100%. Today I was like, oh, okay, this was the climb, but I mean, you know, in the race, like there's no downhill after the big climb. You have to keep pushing. That's actually where the race really starts. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting, and I think or even the athletes don't really know how to tackle this course, you know.
No.
I mean, at the end, you might look like a genius when you attack the bike ride really hard and you came off with like a 6-minute lead and won the race. Or you come up like a total idiot because you totally overbiked and you walked the marathon at the end. It's so difficult to predict, and I think not a lot of people have this experience when it comes to bike courses like this on a long course race.
So with the downhill, a lot of guys were saying, like, a lot of times you're thinking that you can take the turns and things like that, but you're going to be pedaling the whole time, is what everybody was saying. Or what do you think?
Probably not the whole time, but yeah, it's there. It's no.
There's no relaxation.
No, really relaxation.
Yes.
And it's not just for your legs, but especially for your vision and everything. There's so many small bumps and cuts in the street and potholes and speed bumps and everything. Yeah, it's like flying the helicopter in your living room. It's just you have to be so careful with how you go in the corners and everything. And then also having just half of the road.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's also one of the very challenging things. It's probably the hot topic is obviously the center line.
Yeah.
And today I had a couple of incidents where I knew, like, oh, in a race, if a ref would have seen this, that would have been a DQ. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Wow. And when I look at the people, obviously you
have a long list here.
I have a long list. And I look at it and I go, okay, our guys who are really excited are mountain bike guys. Bradley Weiss, Brent McMahon, Braden Curry. Braden's been living in the mountains. Bradley Weiss has been training with Jan. Those guys are all so excited about the bike course, and they all can run. So who knows what they'll do on this course. But when you look at, I looked at the last Kona race, and all these guys you were racing against, who were racing: Sam Laidlaw, Skipper, Leon Chevalier, Magnus Dietliff, Clement Mignon, Patrick Lange. How do you think this course sets up for them?
I mean, that's a really interesting thing. Is like you can find reasons for almost every person to be good or to not be good in the top 10. I mean, let's look at Magnus.
Yes.
I mean, sub 7 hours 25. It's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some of the numbers. I know a little bit about his preparation, how he prepared his bike and everything. It's just absolutely crazy. So you have this guy on the list, and when I talk to him, hey, a guy like Patrick Lange is probably 18 kilograms lighter than you.
Yes.
But he has a very scientific approach, and so on the longer climb with these inclines, he can still ride at like 23 to 25k an hour. That's actually aero bars.
Right.
He will push like some over 400 watts on this long climb. That's like 5 watt per kilogram.
Yes.
And so he will probably not lose a lot of time on these climbs to the light guys, because he is just a powerhouse. But then, on the other hand, is this power comes from somewhere. It's not it's not because he has a solar panel on his back or something like that. I mean, the amount of energy that goes into that, it's like flying with the afterburner. You can go cruise speed at 300 watts.
Yes.
Magnus can go all day. Like, that's no problem for him. But with these climbs, and then, like, even if you still have to pedal, you go way lower power on the downhills. But you burn so much more energy on these hills that it's going to be very interesting to see how somebody that is probably, even despite not being the lightest guy, has the fastest bike split on this course.
Yes.
Is holding up in the last half an hour of the race, because due to the fact that you have to take in so much energy. So,
and he's the type of guy, like when he was at Roth, he was sub 4 hours. This could be 4:30, 4:40.
Yeah, I mean, I took almost 6 today, so it's always crazy to think. I mean, that's always when
that's
you
with open roads and traffic and all the rest.
Sure, and a road bike, but no, I mean, this is not a 7 hour 30 Ironman.
No.
So I really think Patrick is. It's crazy that he's still kind of like flying under the radar.
It blows me away. But you saw him in Israel.
Absolutely, and that's the reason why he's not under my radar. I have a really low searching radar. He is flying pretty low. But man, I mean, this run was nuts. I mean, it's always easy to look at the result sheet and say like, yeah, but the course was short, blah 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 blah. This course wasn't short. I have it on my GPS, and the conditions were really slow. Like, we had rivers flowing over the road, and also on the bike. I mean, he had a big group, but at the end of the bike, he was leading.
He was pushing the group.
All of the bike. So coming to my next thing is even the last section of the bike is not where you can freewheel, but let's say the last hour of the bike is not super high power output.
Right.
So you can definitely relax a little bit.
And get some nutrition in.
Absolutely. And we have seen historically very fast run splits here in Nice. Also looking back at 70.3 World Championships. I don't know why, but it might sound strange, but the asphalt seems to be bouncy.
No, that's
honestly, I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Yes, yeah, it's a fast road.
I can describe it any other way. It's like, I mean, obviously it was the rise of the carbon plate shoes and stuff like that, but I felt the asphalt was bouncy. It's really fast running. That's definitely for sure. And despite the slow bike and blah blah blah, I predict that Patrick is gonna run sub 230 for the win.
Yeah.
So we'll find out afterwards. Since I'm making new predictions every day, tomorrow I predict something different.
Yes.
Tomorrow I'll make an argument for Jan, and then during my airtime on TV, I'll probably pick somebody completely different.
Camworth, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely go for one of the French guys or semi-French guys, whoever.
Clement, Leon, Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy, absolutely.
Dennis,
I mean, Rudy knows the course and everything. So, yeah, we'll see. So prediction is Patrick, Magnus, and Jan for 3.
Yes, and Jan, obviously, last race, 4 surgeries over the last couple of years, has worked so hard just to get here.
And it's really, I mean, I'm definitely on a hype train, yeah. I'm all on board. Like, Jan, it's his last race. He will gonna put in the golden bullet, moonshot project, blah, blah. He has the momentum on his side. He's so fired up, like, if it would be his first triathlon, you know? I mean, but then on the other hand, you know, it's so, I mean, I can't just ignore other feelings that I have. I've seen him race in Hamburg. Of course, Hamburg, totally different race. Lots of things goes wrong. Blah blah blah. He didn't seem to have this like killer in him. Then he seemed to have the killer back in him. But you also have to have in mind, like for Jan, 2019 was his last World Championship level race.
Right.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
It's so tough to say.
In
and
this world,
the thing is, if somebody can do it, it's Jan. But if I look at the course, the problem is, I think Jan has to decide whether he's following his heart, then he will always try to stay with the front guys.
Right.
Or if he's really following a plan. Because at his age, at my age, it's getting so difficult to like, overpower these smaller hills at the beginning, and that's what all the younger guys are doing. And then the next thing is Jan is like super skinny, but is still not super lightweight. So especially at the beginning on this like hors d'oeuvre, how I would call it.
Yes.
It's so difficult not to overpower, and especially if I'm in Jan's position, swimming in front and trying to stay with Magnus, then probably it's gonna be very difficult. So therefore, I'm like really torn apart. Whether where I put him, I don't wanna say he has no chance to win the race. Absolutely, he has.
You never know.
100%, but. That's why it's so interesting.
That's what makes it fun, because nobody's really done this race before. You added an extra 10K to the bike that they didn't have in June, so it's it changes everything. So then you got at Roth, you had Sam Laidlaw riding with Magnus. Those two guys just pushed it. What do you think with Sam?
Oh, it's also super difficult. You know, with every normal athlete, I would actually take your Sharpie and put him off the list.
Yes.
Because it's just such a year with so many problems. You know, it's there's always something wrong, and the problem is it's not just that he has these problems, but he made the effort to fly to Singapore.
Right.
Got in this kind of water. I don't know what they put in the water, but it doesn't seem to be very healthy. He did the swim, but then he did not finish the race.
Right.
And that's just the theme, you know. I mean, it was the whole year where it was okay, but then he fell apart, but he got nothing out of it. But he made the effort to travel there. It's the same with Ross, right? I mean, he was in front, but he still made a whole long course race, you know. I mean, that's
with
something,
his calf issue, yeah.
that's something pretty tough, you know. But with Sam, the difference with Sam is, it's just you might have this hand of cards, and Sam is the joker, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, with Sam, you never really know. I mean, he feels great this day, pumps his chest, and wins the race.
Yeah, sure, could do that.
Could happen.
Well, he surprised everybody in Kona last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
I definitely did not see that one coming on the run, and I think not a lot of people did. So, therefore, I would not take him off the list.
Well, it's like if Gustav had run 2:38, he would have won the race. Right? He's 2 minutes back. All right. So then, you know, Cam is feeling like this is the first time he feels he's had a build-up to Ironman, because he's normally racing bikes, and he's still racing bikes, but he felt like he actually could swim and run and have a solid month of training for this event. Now, the question is, if Patrick's running sub 230, Cam certainly isn't in that ballpark. He's if he gets under 250, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, if you ask me, can Cam make a top 5? I would probably say
Possibly.
yes. But then when you name me all these guys on the list and ask me whether I think they beat Cam or not,
yes,
I'm gonna get into some troubles because then Cam probably falls off the list again.
Right.
So therefore, I definitely see that he has the potential, especially on this race, to be up there, because it's something completely different again. Cam was always driving the train in Kona, you know. He was most of the times the guy that was just in front, everybody else following. I mean, I tried to help, but the problem is just I couldn't, you know. It's enough to just hang
stay back
on
there and save your legs.
Yeah, I mean, you have 25 seconds to pass, like, you go out, oh, no.
Can't do it.
It's like I need 30 minutes to pass. And then I'm at front, and then he was like
he goes right
overtaking again. So, so therefore, in this race, the biggest group you're going to see is probably 3 people.
Right.
Therefore, it's made for Cam, because if he can ride on his own, like with his power and just not pulling people over the course, it's definitely a different game. When I would have not seen any of the races here in the past, I would actually say like, yeah, definitely top 5.
Yes.
But since I know how fast the run times have been here historically, I would say it's just not possible with this depth of talent for him to break the podium.
How about Mr. Skipper?
It's the same.
It's
the same issue.
Yeah.
Again, would you ask me if he can make a top 5? I would say yes. But then
ask
you
him
name
who
me.
do you push out of the top 5?
Exactly. Then I come into trouble. I think the thing is with Joe, he has the goods to win the minerals. Like he says,
the minerals. Yes.
The minerals to win pretty much every Ironman race in the world except the World Championships.
Because the field's so deep.
Yeah. It's he is just a very solid performer. He always delivers. There's no much. Even when he has a bad day, when something goes wrong, he still delivers.
Right.
So super solid, but just not
Winning's
good
a
enough
different game.
to.
Yeah, World Championship is tough.
Yeah, for podium, I don't see it.
So I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the Norseman experience.
Uh-huh.
Was that just like one of the coolest things you've ever done?
Yeah, absolutely it was. It was another. I mean, that's probably when you guys did the sport.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like that, you know.
I love the bonfire. You swim towards a bonfire.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
jump off a boat.
Yeah.
You lead the swim. Now you're going. His next career is Sebastian's coming back to be an Olympic swimmer. I like that.
Breaststroke.
Breaststroke.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was super nice. It was probably the coolest triathlon I've ever done.
Do you have a crew of your own?
Oh yeah. You need a support crew.
So fun.
I don't know about so fun, but yeah, it was definitely a super cool experience, an absolutely iconic race. Yeah, I don't know what more to say about the race.
It's something. If you're a triathlete, you got to put that on your bucket list. Now, how freezing was that water?
Not at all. It was
Wow.
super nice. Yeah, I mean, climate change, I don't know, but it was actually quite nice. I mean, 18 degrees or maybe a little bit under.
Yeah.
So it was just perfect for a wetsuit swim. The overall conditions were pretty nice. So I think that was something good. The conditions can be absolutely brutal there. Don't be mistaken.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we got a little taste of that towards the end of the run.
The thunderstorms.
Yeah, I mean, we were obviously not running in thunderstorms, but yeah, due to the thunderstorms, like the final bit of the hill got cancelled, which was a little bit unfortunate. But yeah.
At the time, you probably weren't too bummed. But
actually, I was, because I was already so far behind that it would have not made a big difference anyway. And I was running downhill just for like 10-15 meters, and I realized, oh gosh. And we still did the full marathon. It was just like that you had to turn around on the top and then run down for like 5Ks or so. And like this downhill running was way worse than.
So it's supposed to finish at the top.
Yeah, it's supposed
to
finish on the very top.
Oh, okay.
But the last trail section got cancelled, and instead of going the trail, we just turned around and ran 5K back down, and so full marathon. But yeah, the downhill wasn't fun, so I would have rather finished on top.
So on Sunday you'll be in studio, just doing the announcing, which is sort of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. It's for German TV, and I think we have a pretty good crew, big audience in Germany. Obviously, Jan's doing his last big race. I think we have a pretty good shot to win the race.
Yes.
With Patrick and Jan, and yeah, so therefore it's gonna be fun.
I love it. Sebi, always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for always being so generous with your time over the years. It's such a treat. Hopefully, you'll have more. You'll come to the States and do a tour, right? You thinking about just to do some gravel?
Absolutely, yeah. I would love to. I mean, the Lifetime tour.
Yes.
I'm following that since it's born, and yeah. I mean, that would be something I would absolutely love to do next year. I mean, I definitely gonna race some gravel, and why not pack the family in a big Airstream?
And spend the summer in the U.S.
Yeah, barbecue, tailgating.
Go to some football games.
Oh yeah,
some
absolutely,
chewing tobacco.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the next thing I'm gonna do, is watch the first game. Chiefs.
Sebi Across America. I like it. I think we gotta get a sponsorship for Sebi Across America. Get you the Airstream. Put the family in there.
Sounds
get
good.
a big screen. You'll be great. Thank you, brother. Always appreciate it.
Thanks for watching.
Hey, and that is a wrap for our week of Breakfast with Bob. We'll have our championship edition on Monday. And, of course, Sebi is signing up, and, he'll be top 3. So make sure you watch. He'll be doing the coverage on Sunday, and racing for the first time ever. That is a wrap from Breakfast with Bob from the beautiful Hotel West End. Check us out on Monday morning. Until then, have a great weekend, and definitely watch the German coverage. See ya.